So all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, I represent. I'm West Coast born, but I got my boy, Noetic.
How you doing? How's everybody doing?
How many times you gonna stare in that mirror? How many times you gonna switch up that filter? I know you've been called pretty since the days of the swing. See you tagging while at it, tell them get you a ring. You a fan of Alicia, so you know what it's worth. A couple shoes, a couple bags that just come with the turn.
Yes, MCs represent.
All the time.
They still exist, right?
Yes, they still do exist.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with rap, but you probably know better than I do because, you know, you've been doing this for a long time. So what's it looking like on your end on the East Coast these days?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of good artists doing their thing. I mean, I think New York has created a different sound, trying to kind of be more relative with what's more popular.
Check it out, this next one right here is called Our Own, featuring DJ Jermaine. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's your boy Noetic, DJ Jermaine.
When hip-hop was created, it wasn't made for the radio. It was for the underground and for the people of the streets and for the culture. So I think people like myself and others can still push it forward, you know?
But how do you preserve that? Because you want it underground, but then you want it to be mainstream, right? So there's this fine line of being able to get it to the masses and take it from that underground culture. So now, I mean, you know, rap is not the same. Like, it's not about lyrics. And it's not gimmicky necessarily, but you got to be able to market it, right?
Yeah.
So an artist like yourself, which you feel so true to the artistry of lyrics, how do you see yourself fitting in today's world of hip-hop in the mainstream?
I mean, to preserve it, what I do is, like, I try to pay attention to the likes of people like the Teddy Rileys, you know, the P. Diddy's of the time when they did it, kind of like mixing that same influence into modern hip-hop today. So most of the time, if you listen to some of the things that's on the radio, they may not be of that same normal, you know, trap music or whatever, but you feel that 90s
You don't
vibe
like trap
sometimes.
music?
I like it. It's fun, but I feel like it has no substance a lot of times.
Is it supposed to? That's the question.
I think so, because when T.I. did trap music, when Young Jeezy did trap music, it had substance to me. I thought it did. I think they're from the South, those are the most elite lyricists that did do it, and which started it, you know, from the Goody Mobs and things of that nature.
Right.
So that's where it started, and they were conscious about what it really meant to be in the trap. Now they have popularized it by calling it trap music, but it's just, that's a sound.
Right.
Trap music was more of a lifestyle.
So
and
you think it's a
culture that they're
fad
talking about.
almost?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But it's lasted way longer than a lot of other fads, let's say that.
What is trap music? Is it drug trap? We talking about drug houses? Is that?
I think that's what it was mainly created for, to speak about the experience of being caught in the trap. And that's what the hustling lifestyle was. It's a trap that's created not for you to win. You can make it for the time being, but the end and all result is dead or in jail. So that's why it's a trap.
So what do you talk about?
I talk about life in general. I think being an artist, you got to grow. When I first started, you know, my music did concentrate on, you know, more with the streets and what I was doing at the time. But I feel like I've grown as an artist to know that there's other ways you can put the medicine in the candy, you know what I mean? And teach people about those experiences and try to have the younger artists kind of take that as an example of how, because at one time or another, you're going to have to grow up musically. Your fans going to grow musically. Your fans not going to be 18 with you forever. Your fans going to grow up, get kids, and now they can't play that same music all the time around their kids. So if you could find a way to keep the substance and still have that originality and have something to say with that music that they're used to and that they feel is popular, then I feel like you can make music for everybody, you know? But for me, I focus on just change, you know, and talking about the things that are going on in the community, in the world. Coming from New York to here to LA, I see a lot that's going on that's similar, but some things are a little more heightened here that I get to see and talk about. It's a total different experience, so I give my fans the opportunity to feel that aren't here in LA with me.
So Noetic, what does that mean? I know it's an adjective for something. Tell them what Noetic stands for.
Well, in my book, you know, Noetic for me is just, I feel like when I first started, I was very poetic with my words, and I feel I still am. You know, I do poetry on the side.
That's
when I
what
feel
rapping
like it.
is.
You know what I mean? I do it on the side, you know, for myself and, you know, for others sometimes. But I feel like that's where my style comes from, you know, with the being able to speak with passion, still rhyme at the same time, and have a lot of substance to it. So I just added the N on there for certain reasons. I don't know, it just flowed right for me. And
What does N stand for?
well, we was talking about that earlier.
Okay, I know. Is it that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is that, you know, and I feel like I try to
They're like,
embrace
what is
it.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I embrace that
The
that
N-word,
word, the
y'all. We're talking
N-word,
about
the
the
N-word.
N-word.
You know, I embrace that word at times because I feel like it was used against us to downgrade and to degrade our people, our skin color, our mindset.
Everybody says it now.
Everybody
All
says it now.
races, and y'all shouldn't be saying it.
Yeah.
But everybody says
And
it.
that shows to prove just how strong we are as a people, as black people, for us to be able to take a bad word that is totally degrading and make it popular, make it mean strength, make it mean strong. Because most people, when they talk about somebody being their brother or their best friend, oh, that's my
Right. It
you know
means
what I'm saying?
love in our world.
You know what I mean?
Of sorts.
So that's where
Yeah.
that's where the N came from, and I put it on the on Poetic, and I came up with Noetic, and it is really the study of the mind. If you look online and you go to YouTube and look up Noetic, it's a science. You know what I mean? And it studies the mind and how people react to people. So I feel like my music is concentrated on how I react to the good and the bad people that surround me, and make me able to live my life and talk about it in a good way.
From New York to LA, now we Our Crenshaw doing this thing. Unrestricted, you heard? Let's do it. Look, built from the bottom, it's all persistence. If the hustle right there, she's your existence. Can't get paid in the earth this big, you worthless kid. Our brother don't deserve to live. Look, the hustle can't stop me, and Boogie was selling 50 cent a wop, then we brought it to the block. Digging in the crates, finessing low with an A. See, I was in the mix and I ushered friends to the play. Look, one side was in print, underneath that side. Bloods and LP, who was weeping out for the death side. She could get colder than summer, put on a sweat. One false fool and I'm ready to get ya. See, I was told to go out and get it. Listen, since the past she buys, get a New York minute. Transported down south, I got an LA vision. In a block of this world, I can fit it. Nah, yeah.
Brand new socks, all I do is never take a loss.
It's all up to what we do. Gotta back against the wall.
Ain't gon' never fall. All I give is L's and never take a
Never
loss.
do what
We got to stay real.
pray to God I'm here, it wasn't easy, huh? Posted up at Kennedy's with a 3-piece 9. No kill, press the switch up to the PG house. Make it right on off, that's the easy route. Baby, I ain't speaking to those who ain't sitting there. Clearly, when the weed was